We're currently looking at the remote control to the 2014 IS. And what we're going to look at is this button over here called Home. Right now we're in Destination. If I wish to choose to go to Menu, it'll bring me to these 8 categories. Well, I want to show you the home screen. And by using the home screen, you're going to notice that the current user really doesn't have a whole lot of good information displayed. You know, this car is equipped with navigation, so why don't we use navigation as one of our views? We're going to come up here to the upper right-hand corner, click Nav, click it in that big box. Now you have navigation. I don't necessarily like having the map all the way over to the far right, so I'm going to actually change my screen layout. I want to have it more traditional with the map on the left. And that gives us still 3 screens to look at. FM, average miles per gallon, and overall map. I'm going to go back in. I like to always try to put down the weather, because I think the weather is something good to have, more so than the range and the cruising mileage, since you have that right over here in between your tachometer and your speedometer. Now look at the information that you get right now. You get quite a few really amazing features. Now if I want to look at the weather, I can scroll over to weather, click on it. Now it's going to give me the current temperature, humidity, wind, feels like temperature, 3-day, 6 to 12 hour, go back to the current, and that gives you just a little bit better idea as to what's going on. If I want to, I can come down here and look at weather map. And look at that. That is a true Weather Channel map. It says it right down there in the lower corner. My camera can bring it in. I will show it to you. I think you can kind of see that it says the Weather Channel. If not, when you get into this car and see it for a demonstration, you'll know that it says the Weather Channel in a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square in the corner. If I scroll, I can scroll and see live weather all the way across the United States. Now for some odd reason in the United States, we're really hot and there's no moisture to be found. So that's the reason why we're not finding any precipitation. Go back to Menu, and Menu gives us our climate. Different ways of using our climate. The only way to turn your climate on is to hit the top fan button. Maybe I want the fan to blow towards my face rather than just my feet as well. Face or feet, and feet. Or feet and front defrost. Both the driver and passenger have their own climate, and that can be changed right down here by using this new sliding feature, or using the bottom of the arrow where it says cooler or the blue. Tap on it or tap on the red and it takes you up, or you can use your finger on this slide and it takes you to 64. If I want to do that over at the temperature of the passenger, I can do that as well. Mind you, when you use it, I'm at 69 degrees on the passenger side as well as 64 degrees on the driver's side because it automatically went into the dual mode. If I don't want to have the dual mode on, I can click the dual mode off, and that's going to take 69 from the passenger side and make it 64 just by clicking off the dual mode. When I go back to Menu, Menu is found off of that remote. That would be the first button to find, Climate. The other button that I want to show you in Climate is the only place to find it, is the AC button. And in this case, the AC, whoop, I actually made a blip. The AC button is found down here as well. Over the years, Lexus has put it on the screen on the navigation. They've now corrected it by putting it down here off of the main HVAC controls. When we look at any of these features here, you have auto off, fan low, fan high, mode button. When I use the mode button, you'll see it in a smaller form, scrolling down the different ways that the air is going to come at you. Front defrost, rear defrost and mirrors, recirculative mode, fresh air mode, AC, and dual. Coming back down here to menu, you have the navigation that we just went over. Lexus App Suite, if you have a smartphone, I'll have to go over that as a more of a in-depth look into that system a little bit later. Information, you have Lexus Insider, which is kind of like Lexus' way of saying, thank you for purchasing a Lexus vehicle. Here are 20 different topics that you can learn about. One of the topics is the Lexus Technology Specialist or Delivery Specialist, which is myself and what we do for you. The weather information, traffic incidents, and fuel consumption. You have the radio. That's more of a vertical, how to use the radio. This radio is equipped with HD radio, which gives you a very dynamic sound and bass, vocals, and overall melodies. And in this one, this radio is really neat because on HD, you now get to see the artist, or you get to see the cover art. Pretty unique stuff in this vehicle. Media. If you think about media, it's like you have a receiver at home, like a stereo receiver, and you're plugging everything into it. Think about it like that. If you're going to use a CD, that's going to be part of the media. So I'm going to go over here to the word source. And you're going to see that media is going to be Bluetooth, AUX, and AV. And you can also reorder it as any which way you wish. Maybe you use your CD player more often. The other things that you can use in the media would be a CD player, USB, or an iPod. But because those are actually grayed out, it's because there's no CD put into the system, there's no USB connected to an iPod, and there's no iPod connected at all by using the USB port. So really, that's another area that I want to go over a little bit later on. But it's very nice to have when you go on long trips. When you hit the word menu, you have your phone and the word setup. When you have your phone connected, it'll say that there is no phone connected because that will be a different lesson down the road. Take out this phone. And there we go, device is removed. And what I'm going to do later on after this demonstration, I'm going to do what we call systems clean, which you'll find underneath setup. Under the word general, because this was a vehicle that may have been driven a couple miles on test drives, we want to make sure that all of the information is out of the system. So I'm going to delete personal data. By deleting the personal data, that will take out all of the previous destinations, the addresses, anybody's phones that might have been paired with the vehicle. Those are all have been knocked out. Any kind of driving positions and so forth have also been knocked out. The vehicle now is ready to be used for the very first time. So when my guest comes here this afternoon, we'll be able to program phones and Bluetooth and all that good stuff. I'm going to hit the word menu one more time. And this menu is going to give you these 8 every single time. You have this little word up here at the top called display. You can always hit the word screen off if you don't wish to see the screen. General brightness and camera brightness. Camera, you can use the word brightness and tone it down a little bit or bring it up depending upon how the sunlight is on the camera or on the back side of the vehicle. Right now I'm going to stop talking about all of the stuff on the navigation screen, and I'm going to work my way down into the main portion of the vehicle, down in this general area. In the next video, I'm going to represent in just a moment.